So pretty much everybody lost about 50% of their reach in 2025 on LinkedIn. And most people don't even know why, right? The stuff that used to work just doesn't perform anymore. But the 3% who understand what I'm about to show you, they are getting more visibility than ever. The thing is that LinkedIn's algorithm is not just getting smarter, it's actually learning to think like you. And after analyzing 50,000 posts from our users over the last couple of months, I discovered something nobody's talking about. It seems we're kind of in a three-way AI conversation that determines how successful your post will be. Basically, LinkedIn deployed what they call the 360 brew. It's a 150 billion parameter AI. Richard van der Blom, in his latest update, documented the reach collapse that this caused quite clearly. Other reports have confirmed this as well, and I'm pretty sure that pretty much everybody has felt it. But here's what our data at ContentIn reveals. It seems the algorithm is not just reading your posts anymore, it's building like a digital DNA profile of you, of your expertise, and of your content. And if you understand the 3 layers that I'm about to show you, you can literally program your authority into LinkedIn's AI brain. Let me show you. So let me show you something fascinating from our data. We've analyzed posts from over 5,000 founders using ContentIn, and we've discovered something that I started to call the LinkedIn content DNA. Now, look at this. Creators that focus on 1 to 3 topics get 73% better reach than those talking about random bits and pieces. And this was really, really insightful for us, right? The less stuff you talk about, the more focused, the more niche you are, the better your reach becomes. So our interpretation of this is that the new LinkedIn algorithm kind of builds a digital DNA of you. It takes all the stuff that you talk about. Imagine like a tag cloud. This consists of your posts, of your comments, of the accounts you regularly follow and interact with, possibly your DMs as well. And they kind of like create this fingerprint of who you are. And then that reflects into your posts, right? So a couple of examples here. A founder who's a SaaS expert and usually talks about, metrics, growth, revenue, that kind of stuff. And then he does a random post about weekend cooking and it gets significantly less reach, right? The business philosopher who's always doing like these business lessons from life and combination, and he's talking about cooking and kind of like relates that to leadership. It fits his profile. So for him, talking about cooking doesn't get a penalty because he wraps it into his usual style and what he's usually talking about. Another thing, like you have like the AI guy who's talking about AI automation and future all the time, and then he's talking about a manual process and he gets hit with a penalty. And on the other hand, we have an example of a growth hacker who kind of like sticks with his stuff and it matches the DNA and he gets more reach. And this all comes down to this like new 360 brew thingy that LinkedIn launched, and that is below basically everything that the algorithm is doing. And it's like a semantic understanding, a contextual alignment. And if you train that well, if you stick within it, it will work in your favor. So imagine the algorithm not just reading your post, but understanding its meaning and its context and its pattern related to your professional identity. And it does that in real time. It's not like it's penalizing specific topics or specific styles of whatever. It just builds this image of you, and the more consistent that image is, the more consistency you feed into it, the better it understands you and the better it pushes your posts out. So I guess the good news about this is that you as the creator, you as the poster, have a certain amount of control over this actually. And basically, if you know how to react and how to act and put controlled action into this, the more the new algorithm will work in your favor. Because it is a fact, if you look at all the new algorithm reports, that people who have been doing that already, who have been posting high quality content about one niche, about one subject, who have built like this one persona, they are still outperforming everybody to this day. And LinkedIn's own paper about this 360 thing actually confirms this, right? They're talking about contextual alignment, semantic understanding, and so on. What they don't tell you, though, is how to build your content DNA deliberately. So based on our data and the official documentation and the latest algorithm reports from the greats of the scene, here's how the new LinkedIn algorithm really works. It's a 3-layer AI system, and it's basically 3 systems that have a conversation with each other. Layer 1 is the creation intelligence, let's call it. That's you, your AI tools. That's what you do and input into the system. And don't worry about AI. Like, it's quite obvious that all of the top performers use AI, but the key is to have a dedicated AI trained in your style and not a generic, like one-off prompt that gives you AI slop, basically. Because posts with obvious AI patterns get 45% less reach. The second layer is distribution intelligence. And this is LinkedIn's brain. It's that 150 billion parameter model. And it's not looking for, like keywords anymore. It's looking for semantic understanding. It's understanding the meaning, the context, the authenticity. It asks, does this match that user's content DNA? Is this their authentic voice? Does it fit their target audience and the stuff that they usually interact with, right? It's like this system that you build, the right audience for the right content. And it's a self-fulfilling cycle, basically. Which brings us to the third layer, which is the engagement intelligence. That's your network's behavior. And that's the feedback loop. Every comment, every save, every send in DA, send in DM is teaching the algorithm about your content's value. But what nobody realizes yet, I think, is who engages matters more than how many. So if you have a big account engaging on your content, if you have somebody who has a strong authority in your topic domain engages with your content, that outperforms 100 random, pot replies that you might get. And that's what we can see here, right? 100 random likes is basically meaningless compared to 10 industry leader comments. They have an incredibly high impact. And the same for the AI stuff. So don't worry, like everybody uses AI. Just make sure it's good and authentic and not one-off AI slop. And the whole idea here is that you're not fighting one algorithm. You're orchestrating 3 AI systems that kind of like have a conversation with each other and somehow decide how to feature your post. Miss one of these layers and the whole system works against you. And now, I've got you. So how do you win in this new system, right? How do you still get reach and engagement in the new 2025 LinkedIn reality? And our data here reveals 4 Authority Accelerators. And you can combine these into an acceleration method, which we've tried to outline here. First one is your expertise echo. Again, the less topics you talk about, the more reach and the more, authority in that niche you get. So talk about the same stuff in 5 different angles before you talk about anything else. Talk about the same stuff always in 100 different angles and never talk about anything else is actually the best move, right? Just stick in your domain and find different ways to talk about the same things, which really is why I started ContentIn in the first place, to solve this very problem. Second one is the response window. This became more and more clear during the course of this year, right? Some call it the golden hour, others say about 20 minutes before posting, 20 minutes after content, but like be active on the platform, comment, reply to comments that you get on your content. And especially in the beginning, like this really, really helps you to build the right audience and signal high value content to the algorithm. The format stack is actually a wild one. What it means is if you spice up your content with different formats, it benefits you a lot. But this goes all ways. So if you're only posting carousel posts, then a text post might actually break your pattern and give you a reach boost. If you only do text and image, spice it up with a carousel and get that same reach. But just try to get a good combination of formats. What I'm usually doing is like I have a couple of standard formats that I use for different types. For example, my authority posts usually are video posts, my growth posts are usually carousel posts, and my personal posts are text and image. And then all of this funnels into the compound effect, right? So if you talk about the same stuff in similar ways and you show your expertise, your authority, you get that response, then this again boosts your reach, right? Look at this, right? So you've talked about one topic once and you get only basically no reach multiplier. Talk about it 5 times and you might double your reach multiplier as well. Talk about it like 20 times and you get 5x on this. Considering that all of these posts are good quality and get good engagement for the amount of reach that they have gotten in the first place. And this isn't about gaming the system. It's about teaching the AI who you are consistently. Now, the good news about this is that the basics of this are already built in to ContentIn, right? If you check your LinkedIn profile settings, you already have topics. If anything, I would encourage you to review those topics and make sure you have like between 3 and 5 max and basically condense them and really fine-tune them to what you want to be known for. But we didn't stop there. Yesterday, we launched an amazing new feature, and that is the little score post agent here, which has been trained on all these algorithm changes and all these new algorithm things. And basically, if you click it, it's going to take your post and it's going to review it based on these algorithm insights. And it's going to come back to you with a report of what you're doing well, where you could improve, and will rate it on the algorithm insights and will rate its performance potential. It will also come up with a couple of like hands-on suggestions on how to improve, and then basically give you a list on, maybe tweak the hook a little bit, paragraph density, stuff like that. And you can just type rewrite, and we're going to go out and improve the post based on this scoring agent. And here you go. You can see that it like tweaked the hook a bit, switched up the formatting a little bit, and just improved the post overall. As a little aside, we've also added new functionality to our AI image generator, and it will now use your profile picture to produce amazing images like this one. And now here's what this really means for all of us. We are witnessing the birth of content intelligence, where AI creates, AI distributes, and AI learns from engagement. All of this, the whole system is AI supported. The old game was hacking the algorithm. The new game is teaching and training the algorithm who you are. You are the input data. Every post you create is training data. Every comment you make is a signal. Every piece of content you engage with is a vote for what you want to see more of. Think of it this way. You're not just posting on LinkedIn anymore. You're programming it. You're teaching a 150 billion parameter AI what expertise looks like in your industry. And here's the beautiful part, right? Creators that already do that, they are still winning big time. And they might get less reach, but the quality of the engagement and the quality of the audience that they get these days and that you will get now is much higher and much more relevant to what you're actually doing. So in business terms, you're getting much more qualified leads out of the whole system. And in a way, this is beautiful, right? The era of tricks has gone and the era of real great, insightful content has just started. My personal hope is that over time, we will actually get a LinkedIn feed that's not cringe anymore, but insightful stuff about things that you actually care about. So do you want to start programming your content DNA on LinkedIn? Try ContentIn, use the post scoring. Try it for free. We've got a 14-day free trial. A link is below in the description. The scoring agent will show you exactly how you have to improve your post to be algorithm conform with all the new 2025 changes. Next week, I'm going to show you 2 amazing new features that we've launched and have just been covered by this whole algorithm stuff now, which is the inspiration board, which beautifully ties into this and works with your topics. And also the new AI image generation that generates amazing scroll stopping pictures for you with a single click. Drop a comment. What's your core expertise and what do you want to be recognized for on LinkedIn? Remember, your comment is literally training the algorithm right now. On LinkedIn, on YouTube, wherever. See you next week.